Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the brand Flower Nose. So this is my third time reviewing Flower Nose and I haven't done a video reviewing it. I've only done shorts. So today is a sponsored video. They were kind enough to send me some more products to review. A lot of these products I actually use for my daily makeup or makeup for my YouTube videos, such as their highlighter and their eyeshadow palettes, which I adore. So I'm always looking forward to trying their products, and also because the packaging is so beautiful. For today's review, we have a combination of blush, highlighters, and some lip products. This is the makeup look that I came up with. If you're interested in what I use, then stay tuned. So starting off, I have a semi-matte finish for my foundation because there are going to be highlighters, and I wanted you to see how pigmented the highlight is against a matte finish. I also don't have blush on as well. I also don't have anything on my lips right now as well. Starting off, let's put some color. I'm gonna go in with their Velvet Embossed blush. First of all, for the packaging, it looks so beautiful and ethereal. It's inspired by antique brooches. This is their Velvet Embossed blush in number 2 Dreaming Butterfly, and you still have this cool toned hot pink. Very beautiful engravements for the packaging. So we have the blush on this side, and this is without it. You can see it's very pigmented. It'll just go a long way. Looks quite similar to what you see in the packaging as well. You still have this very hot pink color, very vibrant, adds a very nice pop of color. It doesn't look powdery, has a very nice finish. Overall gives a very soft gradient-like look on the cheeks as well, so it's really easy to blend. And even on the packaging, even though I used just a little bit, you can still see the engravement as well, so it still keeps the aesthetics of its packaging, and it looks very beautiful. I'm just gonna add a little bit of my nose as well. See how it looks really good on the nose as well. It sort of has a minty scent. It's not super bothersome. I can't smell it when I'm applying on my skin, but up close you'll be able to smell it. Next up, let's go in with highlighter. I have 2 of these from their Little Angel collection. I have shades number 1 and 2, Paradise Lost and Eros Fable. These are inspired by medieval rose windows and mythology, and you sort of have the stained glass type of packaging. So these highlighters are used with their low temperature dehydration technology, and that's supposed to give you a feather-like texture. It's also supposed to have minimal fallout, and it's supposed to give you a velvety, weightless type of formula. Shade number 1 is supposed to be a pink pearly shimmer, sort of this baby pink color, but it does have a little bit of more of a white shimmer. I find that it's easier to apply this with your hands instead of a brush. I'm just gonna apply it with my fingers. Alright, so you can see that I definitely did add a little bit of highlighting effect. You can see high points on my face, like my nose, my cheekbones, my nose bridge as well. It just looks so beautiful. So they sent me shade number 3, Chanting Anthem, before in my previous Flower Nose reviews. I absolutely adore the formula. I like how the sparkles are really small and tiny. It's a very natural glow and highlighting effect. For this shade, it's going to have more of a white highlighting effect with a little bit of a pink undertone, but it's not going to be too obvious. It's quite subtle. So this might work a little bit better if you do have pink undertones for your skin tone. This is really good to use to add any natural highlight. Very pigmented as well, so a little does go a long way. Very long lasting as well, and it pretty much stays put where you apply it. It applies very evenly. For the scent, it is quite subtle. There's a slight trend-like scent, but it's very subtle. You have to get really close, almost as if your nose is gonna touch it to smell it. When I'm applying it, you can't smell it. Very impressive formula. Alright, next up we have shade number 2, Paradise Lost. We have a champagne beige type of color. So this number 1 is a little bit more white, and this is number 2. You can see it has a little bit more of a champagne beige color to it. This color definitely looks a lot better for my skin tone, which is natural beige. It gives a little bit more of a natural finish, but also complements my skin really well and gives it a very beautiful glowy finish. So moving on to the last highlighter. This is their liquid highlighter, and this is in the shade 3, Pixie Dream. It's a multi-chrome type of highlighter. So this has ultra reflective micro shimmers, gives a very beautiful radiant type of finish. It's also supposed to give that reflection of the moon, so give that moonlight type of finish, and I'm so excited to try this. Okay, so it comes in with a brush, sort of like a lip tint brush. So how you're supposed to apply, I'm supposed to put it on my hand or on a palette and then use my fingertips or brush to dab the highlighter onto high points. And this also looks really good for your cheekbone, nose bridge, brow bone, and inner corner of my eyes. And you can just gently tap or sweep. Let's see how it turns out. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Alright, so it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see on points here, there's a little bit of you can see a little bit of the color and the multi-chrome. Alright, so it's a little bit difficult to see on camera. So it has this like reflective light, but I'm going to dim the lighting just a little bit so you can see the difference. You can see the reflective light here. For this shade color, it's sort of this yellow orange type of color. It kind of reminds me of like the sunset Marble type of highlighting effect if you're into that. The only downside of this that I have is that the base color, or when you blend it out, it kind of has this blue type of undertone like you'll see here, and a little bit of my nose as well. It has this blue type of undertone like at certain angles, so it kind of looks a little bit bruisey, which makes it look a little bit uneven. However, other than that, it gives a very beautiful highlighting effect. So this scent has a soapy like scent, but it's not super strong. The shimmer in this is also very small as well. It pretty much stays where you apply it, so it's not going to move around much once you have blended it out. Alright, so let's move on to the lip products. There's a total of 7 lip products. I'm going to be swatching them by collection. Starting first, we're going with the Strawberry series. These are in the shade number 2, Raspberry Booze, and 3, Berry Bomb. Very fun names, amazing packaging as well. So first up we have number 2, Raspberry Breeze. This is the gradient look, and you can see it's a glossy finish. It does have a little bit of glitter in it. So I have this strawberry pink color. It's not too red, however, a very subtle rosy pink color. Up close you'll be able to see a little bit of the glitter. It's not overwhelming, it has just a very small amount of glitter in it. Overall, very even application, easy to blend, easy to blur. It does apply quite sheer, so we'll have to see for the full look to see if it's buildable. Very glossy finish for the gradient look. Has a very nice juicy pout and very moisturizing. You can see it's a little bit semi-waxy, but it's not like your lips are sticking together. It is a semi-thick formula, so it is going to feel a little bit sticky in the inner corner of your lips. It does have a sweet fruity scent. It sort of has a strawberry scent. For the full look, now we have a more rosy pink color. It did build up quite well, and it's very pigmented. The more that you apply, the more you'll be able to see a little bit of the glittery finish, but again, it's really small and subtle. It's a very nice extra glossy finish overall to the lip. Very classic strawberry pink type of color. Not a shade that I typically would wear, but this is super flattering for anyone who's into strawberry rosy pink colors. Very moisturizing because of how semi-thick it is. It doesn't get stringy or there's not buildup, so that's definitely always a plus. For the finish, it also does have a semi-transparent type of finish to it, sort of like see-through, sort of has a see-through glass like glossy finish. One thing that I like about this also is that it fills in the wrinkles of the lips really well to give that beautiful blurred like finish. It gives a very glossy finish on all angles of the lips, which looks really good just by itself, but also to layer on top of other products as well. Let's go ahead with the transfer test. And the downside of this will probably be that it doesn't have much of a stain. You'll also see remnants of the glitter that's left over as well. In the same collection, we have number shade 3, Berry Bomb. I think I like this shade better than the previous one, although it is a little bit more sheer and transparent. So I have this lilac pink purple shade. I like the glitter combination in this. For this shade, it does have a little bit more shimmer in it and different types of colors in the shimmer, like yellow, blue, purple, to give that galaxy-like effect. But it also has a very nice glossy finish overall. Very beautiful and flattering, although it is quite sheer. For the full look, it just slightly got a little bit more pigmented, but overall you'll still see a little bit of a pink purple color. And again, the glitter in this does look more prominent than the previous shade, so it does look a lot more glossy. But I'm not really into glittery lip glosses, but for this shade, it looks really good. This does lean a little bit more towards being a cool tone shade, and again, this looks really good just by itself or also layered on top of other lip products. Alright, next up we have their lip lacquer. 3 different shades of packaging. I'm gonna go in with the mint packaging first. Alright, this product claims to be inspired from vintage ceramic jars. It also is supposed to be a jelly-like glossy finish. The brush for this is semi-curved, it's sort of like an eyelash curler, and it's really flexible. So you can bend this. So this is the gradient look. I thought this is going to be a little bit similar to Brown Heaven, but swatching on the lips, it looks more like a brown with yellow undertones. It does apply quite sheer. We have to see for the full look, but for the gradient look, it is quite sheer, and it sort of has this, you sort of have like a caramel brown type of color with yellow undertones. And it does have a slight pink undertone, so it kind of balances out the yellow. The more that I see it, the more flattering it does look. One thing that I really like about this though is that it has a very nice blurring function. So it blurs the wrinkles of your lips to give very nice seamless finish, and that maximizes the glossy finish of this. It gives like a very tanghuru candy-like gloss finish. I do like the blurring function of this. It does blur a lot better than the Strawberry series. Very moisturizing, it doesn't get stringy. It feels very lightweight on the lips as well, and it gives a very beautiful glazed like gloss. And overall it bounces and reflects really well on different angles of the lips, on the cupid's bow as well. For the full look, we have a more pigmented brown color now. It didn't get as smooth as how it looks from the hand swatch, so it is quite sheer, a little bit buildable, but it gives a very nice smooth application. For the shade color, the more they apply, the more calmer brown it's going to look, so you're still going to see a little bit of a yellow undertone, kind of like an orange type of brown color. Very beautiful glossy finish. Do you see this shine though? It looks amazing. It has a very similar glossy finish to Etude's Overglow tint. Super glossy, very beautiful blurred-like finish as well, fills in the wrinkles of your lips to maximize the gloss. The only downside is that it's not as pigmented or viewed as I would like it to be. The brush is a little bit difficult to use because of how flimsy it is. Gives you a beautiful, juicy, and lifting pout. Unfortunately, sadly, this also doesn't have a stain. Moving on to the white packaging, this is in the shade number 1, Alice. Sort of have this coral orange color. Again, for these lip products, it does apply quite sheer. It's not too orange, it sort of has this semi-mute type of finish and very beautiful glossy finish, and it fills in the wrinkles of your lips really well. With full look, now you have a peachy orange color. It did get a little bit more pigmented. If you look good in coral or orange shades, this will look really flattering for you. Again, very juicy pout and gives that very nice plumping effect on the lips. Beautiful rosy. It does seem to have a little bit of an orange undertone. Not a shade color that I typically would wear. Probably the most pigmented out of the previous ones. Probably went a little bit overboard for the gradients look. A little does go a long way for this shade. For the full look, now we have a more rosy color. There does seem to be a slight orange undertone. It's quite subtle though, but overall you're going to see a rosy red color the more that you apply. Next up, moving on to the pink packaging. This is in the shade number 5, Freesia, and this shade is a lot more MLBB, so it reminds me of Bare Grape. So it's a little bit more around my palette, something that I wear every day. The glossy finish, it looks amazing. Very beautiful MLBB shade, sort of this pink purple color. This also looks quite similar to Roman's Glasting Color Gloss, where it blurs in the wrinkles of your lips to give you that beautiful plump-like effect. Very beautiful mauve shade, and I can never get tired of this type of color in this kind of formula. For the full look, it just gets better. It looks so pretty and so glossy. My lips look super plump and moisturized. If you were to get one lip product from this brand, I'd probably say Freesia. I think I spoke too soon because this shade also looks really flattering as well. So this is shade 6 Bluebell, and it's a little bit similar to number 5, but it does go a few shades darker. Sort of this mauve shade, which looks a little bit similar to Rose Finch or Custard Mauve from Roman, around that kind of range. Get a shade that's similar to the market, but in this formula, it looks amazing. But I feel like now I have a more pigmented mauve type of pink color. The more they apply, the more mauve pink it's going to look. Very good lip shade to layer on top of other products. So this is the final look. I applied the blush on my cheeks. For the highlighter, I used Paradise Lost. For my lips, I went with number 5 and 6. And they blend pretty well. It gives a very beautiful gradient gloss finish. For the lip products, my favorite would be number 5 Freesia because of how MLB it is. A similar shade to what's on the market, such as Bear Grape, but for this formula, and I can never have enough of it. Another favorite product from this is the highlighter number 2 Paradise Lost. Sort of has like, again, it's a champagne beige color, which looks really flattering for my natural beige skin tone. A little bit in between is the liquid highlighter. I really liked the shimmer in this. However, it does look a little bit bruisey because of the blue undertones in this. If I practice using this a little bit more, I think I can nail it. Other than that, I had a lot of fun swatching other products as well. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.